If so, then OBS is definitely your tool. Today I'm going to walk you step by step through how to set up a gaming stream for YouTube or Twitch using OBS. So let's get to it. Before we get started, here are some things you're going to need if you're going to live stream games. If you plan to stream computer games using a PC or Mac, you're going to need a pretty decent machine. This is so you can maintain consistent frame rates throughout the entire stream. For console games like the PS4 and the Xbox One, you're going to need a game capture card like the one you see here. This device takes the HDMI signal from your console, ports it into USB on your computer so you can use it. You're also going to want some I'm going to show you how to get live on YouTube, and which is kind of cool. And there you go, live. And click apply and OK. And then when you're ready, click streaming. You can then go back to your YouTube interface, and now you'll see you're live. Analytics will show you all kinds of information, computer activity, show people that have donated. Stream health will give you an idea of how stable your connection is with your stream, or if you run into any issues and when, which is kind of cool. And there you go. When you're done streaming, you'll just click end stream, confirm it. That's it. You've done it. Stream to YouTube. And if you want to find that stream after you're offline, just go into YouTube Studio, click Content, then click the Live tab, and there's your stream. And you can edit it like you would any other uploaded content. And there you go. That's how to stream on YouTube. And increase the delay. You can go to add a delay here, and you can choose to add 30 seconds or a minute delay per question. Have them reply super private information. Now your stream latency is, and you'll find all kinds of instructions on how that stream key over here. Click copy so it's on your clipboard. And now we'll go to OBS. Alright, so we got my scene set up and all that stuff. And like I said, if you don't know how to stream, check out my Skillshare course or any of my other videos on my YouTube channel here. And you'll find all kinds of instructions on how to use OBS. Go into settings, we'll go to stream, click the service, then you can go to YouTube, paste your stream key in there, and click apply, and you're okay. And then when you're ready, click start streaming. You can then go back to
download Grammarly. Come on, man. Everyone's using it. If you want to ace speed, then don't press submit. Grammarly helps you clean up your messy, confusing sentences and get your point across clearly. See how much more clear and confident you sound now? Thank you, future friend. And don't forget about spelling and grammar mistakes. Grammarly offers more advanced spelling and grammar suggestions than you. With the recent moves of Tim the Tapman and Dr. Lupo over to the YouTube streaming platform, there are more eyes than ever on YouTube as a potential place for new streamers to start their journey on. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys a quick and in-depth guide on how you can get your first stream set up on YouTube Gaming.
Yo!
Hey everyone, it's Forza David. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be covering, as I said in the intro, a quick and in-depth guide on how to stream on YouTube, specifically using OBS. So this is going to be covering how we can set up the OBS application, a quick run through of that. It's not going to be a super in-depth OBS guide. I've done other guides on that in the past, and there's plenty of other guides out there for that, but this is going to be specifically in relation to streaming on YouTube, so also setting up the YouTube dashboard and everything like that so that we can get some streams out there to our viewers. If you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to smash the like button down below and also leave a comment, because I love to have a good conversation with you guys and answer any questions you have in the future. So we're going to start with a quick setup of OBS. If you guys haven't used OBS before, then it is the basically be-all and end-all streaming application that you use to get your content from your PC to whatever platform you're streaming to, whether that be YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or time of releasing this video, we need the release candidate version of OBS, so max of both. If you go above it, it's like, oh no, you can't do that. But I would recommend just taking this anyway, so before I count this here. Good. You go to settings, and then you'll have this open page here. The general tab doesn't frames at 2 is good for just general streaming as well. We're not going to cover recording here, but we'll jump to audio, and I would just say max all your tracks out at 320. There's one here which I don't have set at 320, but I'll set it as the bitrate cap. Now, bitrate cap is 8, which at about, as I said, 8,000. This was, especially if I skip some of these bits, you can just see how blurry the image looks. It's really muddy. Next question is why 1440p? Well, this comes down to how YouTube re-encodes your image. 1080p quality, because the highest quality you can select was 1080p6, the encoder being used. If I pause it for a second, go to is, as you can see, very blurry and horrible. Whatever resolution or scaled resolution, and this to be at least 10,500. Then when you put the video out there, or when you stream to YouTube, you will get VP9 quality, which means you have way better quality than most of the people out there streaming in 1080p. The last couple of things here, downscale filter, put this to bicubic. It says that it's going to be less sharpened than Lanczos, but it is way better. It has been in OBS for ages. And FPS, I would set it to 60 for most people streaming games. For some people, if you have less bandwidth or less bitrate to play with, you can put this down to 30 and put this on a 30 FPS stream. So now with that all applied, the last thing we need to do after setting up a scene. So I've got a scene here, which is my whole screen. Hence why you see this kind of paradox effect happening. You literally come down to here and you select start streaming. Now this won't instantly start streaming to your channel, so I can click it right now and you won't have a random live stream appearing. If I click this, you end up getting 2 options: have create and existing event. Create new event is really, really cool. It means you can set your title, you can set your description and everything, the privacy of your stream, what category it's in, and loads of stuff, which I really, really like. But currently, it is missing some of the options. You can't set your thumbnail here. You can't get like a big box to view description in the formatting you want it to seem on YouTube. You can't set your stream to be unlisted for later. You can't select the game that's being selected. So there's still a lot of stuff missing. If you wanted to get just a real quick stream going up, you didn't even want to look at the YouTube dashboard, you can just do it from here. You can put the stuff in and then click create event and go live. However, we're going to do it a bit differently. So what I'm going to do is cancel out here, and we're going to head over to the YouTube live dashboard. So I'm on YouTube now on my 4Eyes channel logged in. I'm going to click create up here and then click go live. After a couple of seconds, you might get a thing pop up saying whether you want to stream using streaming software or just using a webcam. Make sure you select streaming software because we're going to be using OBS. And then you want to make sure you're in the stream area. You can go to the manage area and you can schedule streams in the future. But it's not something I do. Typically I'll just be playing and then I might go, okay, I'm going to start streaming for a bit now. And so I will use the stream area. Let's start with the edit area. So if we click edit up here, this is where we can set all the details for our stream. So this was actually the settings I had set up for that Tarkov stream I was showing you just a little bit earlier. Always you're going to want it to be public. If you don't have this set to public, then your stream can't be seen by people. So forgive me, but put it in there, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. You can select all the audiences, specifically if it's made for kids or not. For most of you, it's not anyone. Message delay. You can have a slow mode, which YouTube videos. I don't want to have loads of ads all over my YouTube streams, and also the monetization.
We have a deep, almost spiritual connection. In Kiev, Ukraine, lives an MMA fighter named Yuri Boyka. He is the best fighter in Europe and has gained the title of Undisputed. One evening, Boyka is fighting in an illegal match held in an underground arena. As the crowd cheers, he doesn't let the opponent get a single hit on him. After a brief one-sided fight, he kicks the opponent in midair and knocks him out. The scene changes to a maximum security prison in Russia. The inmates participate in fights for the guards and the warden's entertainment. Such matches are seemingly friendly to the outside world, but can get very violent with the right participants. The deadliest prisoner of all time is a beast of a man named Koshmar. He is so aggressive that the guards have to chain his limbs and close his mouth to ensure he won't hurt anyone outside the ring. Koshmar's opponent is half his size and can hardly land a punch on him. He slams the man to the ground, breaking his neck, before proceeding to punch him in the face. The fight only stops when his face is deformed and covered in blood. Koshmar is known for killing every opponent he fights against, showing them no mercy. He is more of a monster than a human, and has no guilt for killing so many people. Unlike him, Boyka is a good man outside of the ring. He hasn't had a great life, as he was imprisoned for several years, and is a wanted criminal in Russia. But he has been able to put his past aside, and is trying to be a better person. He even helps a church in Kiev, and is always doing charity work. One day, a priest tells him that he should consider choosing another profession. The priest has always supported Boyka's passion, hence the comment comes off as a shock to the fighter. Boyka replies that his talent is a gift from God, and he is not willing to stop using it. He wants to fight as a professional, and not in an illegal environment anymore. In the afternoon, Boyka is approached by his manager, who reveals that he can finally compete legally in legitimate MMA matches. The European fighting tournament happening in Budapest has allowed him to take part in the competition if he wins a qualifying match. Then comes the day of the qualification match. Since it is one of the most important fights of Boyka's life, he is ready to give it all. His opponent is a Russian man named Victor. The match begins, and Boyka lands the first effective kick. In the first few minutes, he shows his defending skills, deflecting every single attack made on him. As Victor gets more frustrated, it is easier for Boyka to make an attack. The judges on the sidelines are already impressed, so when he knocks Victor out with a knee to his jaw, it confirms his qualification. Everyone thinks the match is over, but Victor surprises them by getting up. Seconds later, he is knocked down a second time, but he refuses to accept defeat. By now, Boyka is frustrated, so he lands a third punch on Victor's face, knocking him senseless. After the win, the organizers invite Boyka to Budapest to fight in the league, which will open many doors of opportunities for him. The manager gives Boyka a bundle of money, asking him to train hard because the next match is in 2 weeks. While leaving, Boyka sees that Victor is in critical condition. He feels guilty for hurting him that bad and would have never done it if he had given up after the first knockout. Boyka remembers the priest's advice and prays for Victor's fast recovery. At night, he wakes up to a nightmare of him killing an opponent in the ring. The very next morning, he goes to the manager and inquires about Victor. To his shock, he is told that Victor died last night in the hospital. They had signed a pre-match contract, so the blame falls on nobody. However, in his heart, Boyka knows that he is the cause of the death. Obviously. Upon being asked about Victor's family, the manager gives him a bag that belonged to him. Inside it, Boyka finds a letter from Victor's wife and their picture together. In reading the letter, he could feel the pain his wife must have gone through when she found out about his death. Right then, Boyka decides to apologize to her and make sure she is not facing any problems in life. He knows that his crime will not be forgiven, even then, but he doesn't want to run away from the path of redemption. Boyka tells the manager about his wish to go to Russia to meet Victor's wife, but the guy is extremely against the idea. Boyka is still a criminal in Russia and will be imprisoned if found by the authorities. He will have to make a fake passport, which is a huge risk now that he is so close to being a legitimate MMA fighter. Boyka understands the consequences, but is adamant about his decision. In the following scene, we are introduced to Victor's wife, Alma, who is at his funeral. After his death, she is alone in life and has no one to turn to. On top of that, she and Victor are indebted to a crime boss named Zurab. He comes to the funeral and suggests Alma be his mistress to pay off her debt. Alma is disgusted by his presence, but she is careful not to make him mad. She simply replies that she will rather work hard and pay him in installments. Alma owns and lives in a community center. She and Victor built it with the money they borrowed from Zurab. The place is home to many orphans and people who are in need. On arriving in Russia, Boyka goes to meet her, but notices her being taken away in a black car by a bunch of men. It turns out that she works as a waitress in Zurab's underground fighting club. He is very protective of her, and and treats her like his property. Later that day, Boyka goes to the fight club and finds Alma. When he tries talking to her, Zurab's people stop him and escort him outside. Boyka wants to avoid fighting, hence he politely asks them what time she will get off work. The gangsters attack him at the question, but are in turn taught a lesson for messing with a professional fighter. Zurab sees Boyka fight and is impressed by his skills. He has been needing a good martial artist in his club and wants to hire Boyka. However, the man argues that he is not here to participate in fights. He simply wants to meet the girl. Zurab offers to talk to Alma on his behalf, refusing to let him meet her. But Boyka yet again disagrees with him and walks away. After he is out of sight, Zurab asks his people to keep an eye on him. The following day, Boyka manages to sneak into the community center and meet Alma. He gives her Victor's letter and asks her if she is being forced to work at the fight club. Alma replies that she would like to work somewhere else, but is bound by the debt. She then reads the letter and asks him if he saw her husband's last fight. Boyka comes clean, admitting that he was the last person Victor fought. He tries explaining that the death was an accident, but Alma refuses to listen to her husband's killer. Following the interaction, Boyka goes to Zurab and agrees to fight for him. However, in turn, he will have to forget all of Alma's debt. The deal is that Boyka has to win 3 matches against the opponent of Zurab's choice. The gangster also promises to keep him safe from the police and authorities, since he knows he got into Russia using a fake passport. The next day, Alma meets Boyka to tell him she doesn't need his pity. She wants him to return home, but Boyka insists he is doing this for his own satisfaction. After that, he goes to a local gym to train for the matches, but is bullied by a man. When the guy keeps on poking him, Boyka slams him down with a single kick. Then comes the day of the first fight. Boyka goes against a local fighter in an easy match. The rival manages to land a few weak kicks, but is proven to be weak in front of someone as good as Boyka. He manages to knock him down, and is about to throw the last punch, but stops midway. To his relief, the opponent accepts defeat, so he doesn't have to hurt him further. After the fight, Alma serves some drinks. Boyka asks her if she is familiar with a nice local gym, because the one he is going to right now doesn't live up to his standards. Alma thinks about it for a while, before inviting him to use the gym in her community center. He trains there for the next few days, and ultimately, Alma gets used to his presence. Boyka's next match is a 2 versus 1 against a pair of brothers. He is shocked because he was never told about these rules. Zurab boasts that it is his arena, and the fighters have to play by the rules. The match begins, and Boyka struggles to defend against both brothers at the same time. When he tries to fight one, the other attacks, making it hard for him to focus. Still, he manages to push one away and knock the other one down in the seconds they take to recover. It is an equal match until Boyka is kicked in his already injured lower back. The pain is unbearable until he sees Alma in the audience and continues fighting. After that, he kicks both their asses and scores a double knockout. The crowd erupts into cheers, as no one had thought he would win this match as well. The next day, Zurab goes to meet Alma and tries to flirt with her. When she deflects his advances, he accuses her of sleeping with Boyka. He also riles her up, claiming that her husband's death wasn't accidental and that Boyka meant to kill him. Alma pretends to not believe him, but the comment bothers her. Meanwhile, Boyka's manager from Ukraine calls him back immediately because he has a press meeting for the fight in Budapest. Boyka asks him to postpone it since he only has one last fight to win. Upon reaching his room, he finds Alma waiting for him. She urges him to tell the truth about her husband's death, and Boyka starts telling her about all the hardships he's faced in life. He reveals that the first half of his life was filled with misery, and the match against Victor was his only chance at getting a better life. He gave it all and won, but Victor's death took away a bigger part of him. He knows that accepting his help is very difficult for Alma, but he begs her to let him do what he has to. At night, for the final match, Boyka goes against Igor, Zurab's best fighter who has been mocking Boyka since the day he arrived. Igor is especially furious at Boyka because he is a threat to his position in the gang. He takes all his frustration out and showers him with repeated attacks. He manages to put up a tough fight, making Boyka's lower back his main target. But the direction of the fight changes when Boyka lands a double midair kick on him. Following that, he beats Igor black and blue, making him bleed profusely until he passes out. With this, he wins the entire tournament, and Alma's debt is paid. However, Zurab has already predicted the outcome and prepared for it. He stops Boyka and reveals that he has to fight one last man for their deal to be over. Boyka only has a few hours before his meeting in Budapest, which is very crucial for his career, but he doesn't want to leave without saving Alma. Hence, he asks the manager to wait until the next morning and gets ready to fight the final champion. The opponent is Koshmar, the beast who has fought and killed all of his opponents in the Russian prison. He is brought into the arena in chains because of his violent nature. The fight starts, but Boyka is already too tired. He tries his best, but his attacks seem to do Koshmar little to no harm because of his physique. The beast lands several punches on him before kicking him in the jaw. Boyka falls down because of the impact and has a hard time standing back up. Seconds before losing the fight, he gathers strength and stands up again, but is again slammed to the floor. When Koshmar is almost sure that he has won, Boyka takes him by surprise and pushes him back with a kick. After that, the fight tilts to his side. He holds the beast in an arm lock, breaking his right arm before kicking him out of the ring. With this, he finally wins the match, but Zurab is still not ready to let go of Alma. He makes his minion attack Boyka while he tries to run away with the girl. Boyka is on the ground at his lowest when he sees Alma being pulled outside. With renewed motivation and anger, he attacks the guards and kills them all. At last, he gets his hands on Zurab and tackles him to the ground. Boyka is shot in the asking her if he has her forgiveness. Sometime later, the police arrive and arrest him. Before being pulled away, he again inquires if she forgives him, but Alma doesn't give him a reply. Then, Boyka is put back into a Russian prison. A month later, Alma comes to visit him and tells him that he is forgiven. Boyka is relieved for the first time in months, even though his plan to become a professional fighter failed. In the last scene, we see him fighting in the prison's arena, continuing to hold the title of the Undisputed. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.
What if I told you that you can use motion ray to improve your videos fast? For example, you can create a professional opener just...
I'm going to show you the 5 easy steps to how to live stream on YouTube using OBS so that as soon as this video is finished, you can start live streaming. We're starting right now. What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel and make videos and all types of other YouTube related stuff, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. I'm curious to know why you are wanting to live stream. Are you wanting to connect with your audience? Are you wanting to increase the watch time on your channel? Are you wanting to, try to use those live streams to rank videos? Or are you wanting to use it to just make videos quicker? What reason is it that you are wanting to live stream? Let me know down in the comments. Okay, so let's head over to the computer and I'm going to show you how to live stream on YouTube using OBS. The very first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have OBS Studio installed. It is available for Windows, Mac, or Linux, and it is absolutely free. Once you have OBS Studio installed into your computer, then if you do not see this on here, but you want it, all you have to do is go into your settings panel, and underneath the theme, under the general tab, you can just click on that, and you can change it from the default to the dark. I know a lot of YouTubers are into dark stuff like me, so just wanted to go ahead and give you that side tip. Once you have it looking the way that you want to go into your youtube.com/live_dashboard inside of your Creator Studio. Once you are there, you want to scroll all the way down, and you're going to see an area that says Encoder Setup. You'll want to copy the stream name /key. So to do that, you want to click the Reveal option, and then you highlight it, copy it, go ahead and click Hide. Now make sure that you keep this key to yourself, because if someone else has this key, that gives them the ability to stream on your account, and nobody wants that. Once you have your key, you go back into OBS, you go over to the right, you will see a settings option, you click on that. You'll go under the Streams tab, and you want to make sure that you have streaming services selected. From the drop down here, you want to make sure that you have YouTube, and then you want to make sure that you have primary YouTube ingest server selected. From there, you are just going to paste your key into the stream key box. Once you have that set up, you want to hit apply, and then hit OK. Next, we are going to assume that you already have your webcam hooked up to your computer. If you do not, go ahead and plug in your webcam, and then you want to go under the sources menu here, where it says sources. You want to go down and you want to click the little plus icon. When you do that, it's going to give you a bunch of different options, which I will go into in later tutorials, but in this one, you want to add video capture device. Give it any name that you want to. And then it's going to basically put on the screen the camera that you are rolling from. So if you get this square box, like I see right here, then what you want to do is you want to click on the resolution, go to custom, and you want to select the resolution that you want to push your video through at. Then you hit OK. And from there, there's one more step, but I'm going to give you a side tip as well. When you mix that, all you have to do is you have to go into your mixer option here, and you will see that you have an option for whichever audio device you're using. So what you want to do in that situation is you just want to adjust the milliseconds on the audio to compensate for that lag. For me, usually between 200 and 500 usually does